We saw your little video, Nick. Well, here we are.
Nicolas Maduro, you asked us to come and get you, so here we are.
God bless America, mother... Time to learn what the find out an UFO is.
Me gusta la chocha de Venezuela. Me gusta la chocha de Venezuela. Me gusta la chocha de Venezuela. Me gusta la
I didn't realize I was on camera
till
right
now. Me gusta
now.
la chocha de Venezuela. Me gusta la chocha de Venezuela. Me gusta la chocha de Venezuela.
Fucking is Donald Trump. Oh, ruin our orgy.
Debemos exigir la libertad del color. Todo ahora mismo.
Hay que olvidarte de ella.
What's up? I saw that video and I knew you fine folks here would love to have seen it. So that's why I needed to show it to y'all. That's right. I don't know. I have a massive glare tonight going on here. And I don't know if it's my glasses or if it's my TV, but something is giving me a glare. I don't know. They did an update on the firmware on my camera and now it's all looking weird. So, wow. I don't know what happened. I got like a shine coming on here, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyway, bigger news: Khomeini is planning to flee to Moscow. Yeah, there's all types of stuff going on in Iran right now. It's really not. I didn't really. I don't know if you have any links for anything. Jim isn't ready for his close-up. That's right, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of Jim Tells You the News. Or something like that. Anyway, I want to say hi to G Sharkman, who was first tonight. Thanks for being here. Lady Bomba's here. Great to see you. Catherine K's here. Great. Yay, Jim's on tonight. That's right. It's been a weird weekend. Yes, it has, Tuckweed. It really has. Steve Hilliard says, hi, Jim, and the greatest chatters ever. That's right. None of your business is here. Hello. Hello. Lisa's here. What's up, Lisa? What will be Jim's take on Maduro? You shall see. Yo, what's up, Spuds? Great to see you. Michelle's here. Great to see you, Michelle. This video is upsetting a lot of powerful commies. Well, the thing about commies is they all deserve to go for a ride in a helicopter. Catherine Case says, hi, Jim and Jim Somniacs. And Thaddeus did say that about Khomeini. We'll have to check it out. Woodtick Mike's here. What's up, Woodtick Mike? Robert Barnes is having a meltdown over the Maduro arrest. What a twit. Yeah, well, Robert Barnes, I'm wondering what exactly his deal is. Because he seems to just be a contrarian now. That's all he seems to be. Jim isn't ready. That's right. Saxon, he's here. What's up, Saxon Rainey? Great to see you. Barnes has broken clock syndrome. Yeah, he does. Hey, Nanny Goat's here, just lurking. Great to see you. The Magasphere is divided. You buy now? I don't think so. I don't think the Magasphere is divided. I think it's the. I really think it's the people who aren't really MAGA, who just pretended to be MAGA, that are upset by it. Because what did Jim say? You guys remember Jim said a while back that if anything happened in Venezuela, it would be over within 24 hours. Less than that, it would be a matter of nothing. They wouldn't stand a chance if we decided to go in and get them. And what happened? Jim was right. We went in and got them, in and out. It's like going to Wisconsin. You zip in, you zip out. I don't care if you got your ass beat in Wisconsin one time. If you know that movie, you know that movie. Ag's here. It says, Happy New Year's, Jim and Bella, fam, and Jim Somniac. So, well, Bella is here. Bella is here. There she is, just chilling, sleeping as usual. She's always just sleeping, Bella. Always just sleeping, just chilling there. And she's hoping to see you guys tonight. She really is. So anyway, Barnes is looking at it from a law perspective. The law, the funny thing, Barnes likes to talk about the law. We're not talking about American law. They're talking about international law. And what is international law? International law is whatever the most powerful country decides it is. That is international law. I mean, it's sad to say that that's the way it is. Whatever the most powerful country decides, that is the law when it's international law. The guy with the Navy that controls the seas, that is international law. I mean, that's just the facts of life. It really is. None of these people crying said anything when we spent weeks bombing Libya to get Gaddafi, or all the other shit we've done over the years with countries. They didn't say nothing when George H.W. Bush went into Panama in an operation Just Cause, right? Just Cause? Was it Just Cause? I think it was Just Cause to get Noriega. And it took Bush longer to get Noriega out of that pissant country than it took us to get Maduro out of Venezuela. I just want to point that out. It took us weeks to get Noriega, I think a week, several days at least, a while. It was a long time ago. It was 89, so my memory ain't that great. But, Noriega was hiding in a church. He was protected by the church. So, Barnes depressed you. Me too, Jim, me too. Yeah. Hello, Meganauts. Dr. Meganauts, great to see you. Jim was right again. That's right. Hey, it's Narf. Great to see you. The thing with Venezuela is that the majority of Hispanics support it. This will reflect in the midterms that Dems are cooked. This also sends a clear message to places like Colombia, Cuba, that fuck around, find out. All right. And Ag says Cash App. Let's see what the Cash App is. Oh, man. Oh. Thank you, Ag, for the Cash App. Wow, so we do get Bella tonight. Thanks to Miss Ag. We're gonna have the Bella. Thank you so much. I'm a little slow on the uptake tonight. I just switched to Sanka, so have a heart. Let me fix the banner, and it will go this. We are currently $75 away. With that, $25, we now have Bellavision for the evening, and we are now just $75 away from the first additional hour. That's right. Dr. Megawatt says hello, Jim. Jim was right. That's right. Cash App, thank you. As soon as the news hit, I thought almost immediately of you went off the air. Almost automatically you went off the air too soon. Yeah. I didn't find out about it until the next morning. I went to bed not knowing what happened. I would have been up watching all the stuff. But it is what it is. Bella, yeah, Bella's here. Critter's here. Howdy, y'all. I already did my thumbs up. Make sure you add yours. That's right. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We've actually lost a few subscribers over this holiday season. I guess people were upset with me that I took a couple of days off here and there. More than that. I know I kind of slacked off, but I was busy doing other things, so I apologize. Barnes acted like he had a few drinks tonight. Really wound up. Contrarian, nauseating, clickbait. Yeah, I don't know. Today is my GSD's 7th birthday. She hopped on a doggy birthday cake. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. No whining when Obama killed bin Laden without congressional notice. Yeah, actually, they're more like whinging. They're whinging. They're not whining. They're whinging. Yes. Didn't they blare heavy metal to get Noriega out? Yeah, for like a week. For like a week straight, they blared Mr. Sneaky Son. Like blared it. Yes, Bella's here. Great to see you. Growing. Thanks, Ag. Yes, thanks, Ag. Bell. Potentially criminals coverage. Ari Maduro was very good. Yeah, Sean is, when it comes to stuff like this, Sean is very good because Sean is also tied into the Council on Future Conflict guys. Tactical Wisdom and Scott McCullough and Watcher on the Web and Virginia Gentleman, all these guys that do stuff. They pop in here, and a lot of people from that. So Sean is connected with them. So he gets the the good stuff. I was up to almost 6 a.m. listening. Yeah, I didn't. Family first. Yes, I know. F them. They are next. Yeah. Hey, Jim from South Carolina, Trump 2028. Better man. Great to see you. Oh, man. And then Obama killed a 16-year-old that had no charges against him. Yeah, an American citizen. Yes, he did. And oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Kicking off the new year right, Brian Oldenkamp. The 10. Jim tells you memberships. Wow. That's it. That ain't cheap. Let's see who got them. Wow. And that's Jay Schwalbach received a gift of membership. Carlos 247. J Ben 6334. Colostomy my bag. Colostomy bag. Or colostomy bag. Received a gift of membership. Nanny Goat. You buy now. Pat Hacker. Nick Dev. Audra and HHH Custom Knives received gifted memberships from Brian Oldenkamp. That's awesome. And please check out Brian Oldenkamp's business. I know he's posted it in the chat in the past. And he's more than welcome to post it in the chat again and let everybody know where to go support his business for your schools and organizations. He does great work over there. And also support HHH Custom Knives. He makes some great stuff. They're kind of pricey, I'm not going to lie, but it's quality stuff. Thank you so much again, Mr. Oldenkamp. Mm-hmm. And with that, now our toto for the evening for the first additional hour is now just $15. Right, just $15 away from the first additional hour of the show. Hey, Kevin's here. What's up, Kevin? Great to see you. It's a new day. Thanks, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian. Oldenkamp. I knew a diesel camp. Congrats, Matt. Yes. So, yes. So my take on the whole thing is the guy was a criminal, was a thug, he's a drug dealer. He had a bounty on his head. The Biden administration put a $25 million bounty on his head right before they left office. And now all these people are whinging. They're whinging about what happened. Now, I'm not going to lie. I thought where it was risky that they were going to lose maybe a plane or two, maybe lose a couple guys. I thought that was going to happen. When we went into Panama, we lost, I think, 13 guys, I believe, in the fighting for the airport. Yes, that's right. www.carnivalmanufacturing.com is my business. Share it to your school, church, and other organizations. Does excellent work. If you have any organizations, churches, schools, sports leagues, stuff like that, share it out because Brian supports us all, so we need to support him. And Arizona Merce says, great strategic planning. Yes, it was great strategic planning because they were able to pull it off without losing anybody. Like, it's shocking. It really isn't. Oh, my Lord, this can't be right. Another 10 gifted memberships from Brian Oldenkamp. And that means...
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion.
Hold on a second.
Communism is the very definition of failure.
Wow, that 10. That's another 10. So that's 20 from Brian. Let's see who got those 10. We'll catch up on everything. Here we got I Am Uncle Bob, KZ Gypsy Muse, Lizzie Z4B, Papo Nani Shelley, Heidi Teresa, Lucky Number 7, and Mike Ladd, and Daughter Shar, and Kevin Pastramo, and G Sharkman all received gifted memberships from Brian Oldenkamp. Wow. That's another 10. Wow. And with that, then that means, wow, whoa. That means we are now 60. We are now 55 away from a second additional hour. Wow, man. Thank you so much. Wow. And then we had another, oh, wow. We had another, John Mosley came in for 20. Thank you, John. And I see a rant also. Wow. Hold on. That means we're 35 away from a second additional hour. Wow. And then let me see what this rant is. And then we got Woodtick Mike. Says, hold on, let me put this on stage. Woodtick Mike says, some government money, lol. Well, thanks, Woodtick Mike. That's appreciated. Appreciated. And with that now, we are $30 away. Just $30 away from a second additional hour. That is so awesome. Thank you all so much. Yes. 10 more. Thanks, Brian Oldenkamp. Awesome. I got the rant. The kid is a foot. Yes, he is. I'm going to have to take care of that in 1 second. 10 more. Yeah, wow. Someone loves Bella. Yes, he does. I can't get one unless I donate. Beautiful cat. I don't know. Bella's being assaulted. Yes, I'm going to have to take care of that in 1 second. Wow, thanks, guys. It's awesome. I love Bella. Yes, Oldenkamp's the man. Thank you, Brian. Bella is so patient. Yes, these type of operations take tactical and strategic planning, which has not existed in the Pentagon for a long time. Yeah, I mean, they planned this out. Let's be for reals here. This has been planned out for months. Like, they started laying the seeds for this probably 6 months ago. You know, they had to insert some CIA people in there and stuff. They start tracking them and do a bunch of stuff. And we're gonna get into all that stuff. But this wasn't just this fly by the night. This was all planned out, and it's kind of telling that they did this on the 1 year, or not 1 year, but on the anniversary, the same day, January 3rd, that they did the Noriega operation. It's kind of weird, right? They did it the same day, kind of like, hey, we'll just do it the same day, January 3rd. Yeah. And it awards those who have donated in the past. I don't think so. That little boy is why Bella needs her beauty rest. Yes. Good night, Jim. Good night for Jim. He deserves it. Yes, it's a great night so far. No respect for that poor dog. Damn, you're going to be up late tonight. Well, I started early, so it's fine. And it was hard to put lipsticks. That was Biden's military. Yeah, well, get all the lipstick and stuff, it would have been hard. I can't wait for some coffee. Well, I think I'll make some coffee. Thanks. Oh, that's right. Mike, thank you. 10 years. I love that they blew up Chavez's grave thing, too. Yeah, they blew up his memorial. That's kind of crazy. What's up, buddy? It's bedtime. You got to go sleep. All right? Come on. You got to go sleep. I think Solomani was 86th on the same day. Really? So they doing all this stuff on the 3rd? Come on. Bella needs her sleep. Hold on, buddy. Hey. Come on. You got to go to bed. It's bedtime. Please. Bedtime. Where's your mom?
In the bedroom.
Well, go by your mama.
What? What did you say?
Come on. Go by mama. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Come on. Sorry. Yeah, the life. That's right. The life of a single grandpa. It's crazy. All right, let's do add the stage. Do this. There she is. I have to fix her camera. Sorry about that, guys. Oh man. Whew. Jim is Santa. Yes. Yeah, my name is Jiminy Christmas. That's what they say. Bucket list, old plan. Okay. I love the new picture. The band is called Madness. Yes. Hi, Terry. Terry, what's up? Great to see you. Beautiful cat. Make sure you're set up to receive gift memberships. Yeah, you got to make sure those are turned on. Blocking the door to prevent future invasions. No, I didn't block the door. See, the door doesn't have a lock either. It's one of them, like it just got the little spring ball that holds it shut. It's not like this is a den, so it's not really a, anyway. Yes, the life of a single grandpa. Well, yeah, it is. And I agree with destroying historical structures. I think that was an accident, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let me fix her camera. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. See, why is her picture all washed out now? What is going on? Is it washed out for you guys? Because it looks washed out on my TV. Anyway, so let me do this. Let me do this. Do this. Let me get into the first story of the evening. Let's just do this. Let's just get right into this. All right. Let me. Wait. What am I doing? Let me move Bella. I'm supposed to be down here. She's supposed to be up there. I got it all screwed up now. I'm all discombobulated here. There we go. So why is it so washed out? What is going on? Someone playing with my light? Hold on. Is that better? Maybe? I don't know. Someone's been playing with my stuff in here. Someone's been playing in my house. Camera needs a few tweaks, but it's okay. I don't know what happened. They did something. They did an update on the cameras. Like they did a software update and like I couldn't even get it to come in 1080p. It kept coming up 4K or 480. Like I wouldn't get it. I had to do like weird stuff and change things to get it to come in 1080p. And so I don't know, so I don't know what is going on. I really don't. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get into the story. Not Joe. Hi. Hey, Sunshine. Great to see you. Kimberly Campbell. Great to see you, too. Hugo Chavez is an historical. He was a dictator, stole from the people of Venezuela. That's right. A little too much white. Oh, yeah, it is. I'm a little white. It's a little white for me. How's the sound? Does it sound good? I hope this sounds good for everybody. Yeah, your contrast is 100%. All right. I don't know. I have to fix it then. Let me see. Image. Is that better? A little better? Is that better? That's better, right? See better? All right. Sounds good to me. I can go one more on her, I think. I think that's better. And then now maybe I should turn the light back up. Definitely better. Little guy was making TikToks on Grandpa's equipment. No, it wasn't. It wasn't him. I think it was my son who was in town. He was trying to play with my stuff, and I don't know. I think that's better. All right. Another rant alert. Rant alert. Rant alert. Rant alert. Wow, another Dizzy D. Whoa, oh shit, what's going on here? Look at this. Now we got Diz D for a 10. And a Diz D for 20. Wow. You see, I'm an actual technician. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Does that look better, though? Or don't I look... I don't know. Do I look a little yellow now? Yeah, not like Jim. Yeah, no, I'm not a camera tech or nothing like that. Point the camera away from the bright flooring. I can't. Otherwise, you won't see Bella. Because the way she's... Unless, I don't know. Can I do that? I suppose I could just take the damn QR code off, right? I could do that. I could just do that, right? Isn't that better? Isn't that better if I just take the QR code off for Cash App and PayPal and do that stuff? It's pinned in the chat, so it's not like it's got to be there. My anxiety level during your camera positioning is off the charts. Oh, no, it's fine. I'm wearing pants. Mm-hmm. Oh, and wait, now I just realized that with that.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
With that, $30 from DizD over there on the Rumbles. That means we hit the second additional hour, so that means we are now $100 away from a third additional hour of the show. Wow. So that is fantastic. Cubans are aft. Venezuela is where the money was washed. Yes, yes. Oh, I'm more concerned if you're wearing socks. Nobody wears socks in Florida, buddy. Nobody. Let me see. I'm not happy with this. That's better. Now I'm happy. Looks better, I think. There you go. All right. Yes, they do. Some people do. I do when I wear shoes. If I'm wearing slides or flip-flops, I don't wear socks. The Clinton judge who denied Trump's hush money removal to federal court and blocked Venezuelan gang deportation now assigned to preside over the Maduro case in New York. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Why New York? This I don't understand is why bring him to New York? They should have brought him to Florida. They should have brought him to Miami like they did to Noriega. Noriega was tried in Miami. That's the place to try Maduro. It's Miami. Mm-hmm. You need some 47's hotel slippers. Yes, I do. So let's get back into this story here. Much of Maduro's security team was killed in action with the U.S. Why? Why bring him to Miami? To try him in Miami instead of New York? Yeah. Oh my gosh, for fun, watch Jim's videos when he was starting out. Oh no, don't do that. That was horrible. Horrible stuff. Horrible stuff. It's all meant to fail, that's why. Hey, what's up, Jacob Castro? Well, that's what I'm thinking. If they're doing it in New York, I don't understand. I think it was to send a message to the UN. No, why New York? Because that's where they do. The government thinks that the Southern District of New York's like shit don't stink, and that's the greatest place in the world, and they're going to get people. Blah, 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 blah. That's where they do all these high-profile cases. Well, Miami would beg to differ. But not only Miami would beg to differ, it's that what they should do is the reason Miami would be better is because in Miami, you have a bunch of people who hate communists. And a lot of the drugs came in through Miami, so make it, that would make a lot of sense. Why does my color keep changing? Is it just me? It keeps changing from yellow to white and yellow to white? Oof, I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know. I apologize for any of the camera issues tonight because it's weirding me out. It's weirding me out, man. All right. The original indictment was issued out of SDNY. That's why. Well, I mean, it's a crime. He was never in the U.S., so they could indict him anywhere. My son also wanted it in Florida because of the Venezuelan population there. Yeah, that would have been a great place to do it. His security team were Cubans. Womp womp. Yes, well. Bloody nose time. Maybe. Just a way to get you to buy a new one. I think that's what it's trying to do. Jaundice. That's what I look jaundice? I am not jaundice. I promise you. I don't think I am anyway. Maybe I am. Thanks, Sue. I hope not. New York is the home of the circus trials. Yes, it is. Anyway. Yes, it looks like I'm going to have to buy a new camera now. Upstate waiting for you. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to buy new cameras now. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The official said much of Maduro's security team, as well as soldiers and civilians, were killed. Wow, look at that. That looks like some kind of a military vehicle. A significant portion of Venezuelan socialist, let's see, he was a communist leader, security team was killed in the U.S. operation that led to the leader's capture and arrest, said the defense minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez. Padrino means Godfather, so it's Vladimir Godfather is what it's translated into if you see it anywhere. The indictment was filed 15 years ago. Thank you. Wow. So this guy's been wanted for 15 years. It's a good time we should go get his butt then. Thank you so much, Kimberly Campbell. With that, now, folks, we are just $90 away from a third additional hour of the show. Wow. Wow. Starting off the new year with a bang on this one. This is a banger. I mow your lawn. I know all about you. I overcharge you. I don't see a problem with the camera. White balance, maybe. Thanks, Kimberly. All right. I don't know. I thought I had it on auto. Maybe the auto white balance is screwed up. It is on auto. So maybe I need to adjust it. Oh, that's hers. All right, that's better. Let me do this. Do mine. Is that better? That looks better, right? I just shut off auto instead of the 4500. I think that's better. Looks better to me. It's a test for Mandami, maybe. 50% overcharge for all New York City residents. Thank you. I didn't know that. Yes. Showing Mandami in New York is how we treat communists. Well, looks cooler, like not as warm, right? Jim tells you is a POC, is a person of color. Yes, I am. You can see I'm many different colors. I can change my color depending on where I move on the camera. My color changes. I was noticing the same thing happen on Bronca Stream the other day. Like you want to barf any second. Is that what I look like right now? Oh my God. Asian Jim from The Office. He's been yellow the whole time, Dwight. All right. Sorry, this is bad. I should have had this all fixed before I. Oh my God! Now I look like the girl from Willy Wonka. Oh, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Is that better? That better? That better? I think that's better. I think it's better. I'm leaving it. All right. Veruca Salt. That's right. Veruca Salt. Smurf Jim. Yeah. Much better. What was much better when I was blue? Trance from Andromeda. I think it's better. Tint warm. Is it still warm? It might be still warm. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm leaving it there. That's it. Bronca did a video today. Just watched it. He showed a bunch of Rubio clips. It was awesome. Tonight's squirrel is the camera. It is. Sorry. More warm. No, I'm done touching the camera. All right. It is what it is. Don't adjust your TV screen. It's fucked up on my part. I'm sorry. Oh, so Lopez didn't provide a figure of the casualties. He backed the Venezuelan Supreme Court declaration that Vice President Delcy Rodriguez serves as interim president and said armed forces were activated across the country. He said in a live video that much of Maduro's security team, as well as soldiers and civilians, were killed in the operation, according to a translation from Spanish. Oh, okay. Lopez says he wants Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, who was also detained January 3rd, to both be returned to Venezuela. Now, that ain't happening. He described the U.S. military operation as an act of aggression against the country. Yes, it was an act of aggression against your country. This is, everyone fails to realize that when they talk about no foreign wars overseas, no faraway lands overseas across the ocean on the other side of the world, this is not that. And this is our hemisphere. You could drive to Venezuela from the United States. Any place that you could drive to in a car or ride a train to or something like that is our business. It's the Monroe Doctrine. But we'll get to in a little bit, definitely tonight, that it's not the Monroe Doctrine anymore. It's the Donroe Doctrine. That's right. It's now the Donroe Doctrine. Anything that happens in the Western Hemisphere, in this hemisphere, in the Americas, it is America first to care about what happens in America. And believe it or not, South America is still in America. So we care what happens in South America. We care what happens in Central America. We care what happens in old Mexico, because that's part of North America. We care about Canada. We're going to save you, Canada. Canada, let this be a warning to your commie rulers in Canada. We're watching. We're watching you, Canada. Gray balanced brown. It was not an attack on Venezuela. Okay, no, it wasn't an attack on Venezuela. It was a high-level arrest. But we kind of attacked them a little bit with a bunch of missiles and bombs and stuff like that, but not the people. It's not an attack. We were freeing the people. We will be seen as liberators. Now, if we can get some high-level arrests here in the U.S., yes, that would be great. Stop the commies at all costs. That's right. The message to China and Russia is get out of our neighborhoods. That's right. Wait, did I forget? I did forget to redo the goal. No, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Never mind. I did do it. All right. I did it. All right. I forgot I did. Maduro will take a plea deal in exchange for proof of machines used in election interference. Well, that would be hysterical, Emerald Eyes. That would be awesome. Stop bullying Latin America. But yeah, Canada's a dick. We're not bullying Latin America. We're coming to Latin America's rescue. The people who were bullying them were the commies. They were bullying the people. Bullying the people. As a matter of fact, we're gonna do this real quick just to prove to you guys that I am not all this hard-hearted type of man. We're gonna hear it from a Venezuelan. Yes, from a Venezuelan in Venezuela.
Venezuela, Venezuela. People are criticizing Trump for what he did in Venezuela. They say he bombed and kidnapped our president. No. Let me be clear. That man was never our president. He's a dictator. We didn't vote for him. Our elections were stolen. And when we protested, our kids were sent to prison. Minors were tortured. Girls were forced to prostitute themselves in prisons just to get food, to get a piece of bread. And where were all of you then? Where were all of you, liberals? Where were all of you? Where were all of you? You said nothing. You did nothing. But now you suddenly care about international law? I mean, now you all talk about human rights? Maduro didn't lead Venezuela. He kidnapped an entire country. So, no, Trump didn't kidnap anyone. No, he did not. He removed our kidnapper. And for that, we're thankful. You can divide politics all you want. But don't tell Venezuelans, do not tell Venezuelans how to feel about being free from a dictatorship.
There you go. Free from a dictatorship. So that's from someone in Venezuela, allegedly, supposedly. I don't know, but I'll take the wins where we can get them, and I think this is a win. I do personally. This is a win. That little Scarface kid has a Masonic haircut. You think everybody has a Masonic haircut? Kerry ended the Monroe Doctrine. Well, it's not up to Kerry to end it. TikTok is a great source. It is. I love TikTok. That's where I get all my news from. That's pretty strong. It is. We ain't bullying South America. We just had to slap them once in a while to get them to behave like you do with kids. Whoo. Yeah, didn't Chavez take their privately owned guns? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. How can you tell it's propaganda? It's wrapped in a dang flag. Well, that's how you get all your propaganda, wrapped in a flag. Terry the Swift Boat Hero. Carry the Swift Boat Hero. Yeah. Oh, the guy. Yeah. The guy that said he threw all his medals away, but then when someone brought up they saw him with the medals after that, he didn't have an answer for that. But anyway, so. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said that President Trump has had conversations with Rodriguez, the interim leader of the country, which she described as very matter of fact and very clear. Yes, we're going to get into all that stuff. Because basically, she got told, you are next. Not in those exact words, but you can be next. You can lead or you can get out of the way, is what Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, because we're not going to allow you to continue to subvert American influence and our need to have a free country like Venezuela to work with rather than have dictators in place who perpetuate crimes and drug trafficking. Woodham, no problem. Woodham, great to see you too. It's awesome to have you here. Noam said the United States wants a leader in Venezuela who will be a partner that understands that we're going to protect America when it comes to stopping drug trafficking terrorists from coming in to our country. That's correct. No more drug trafficking terrorists. We had enough come in under Biden. We're not having any more drug trafficking terrorists. No more. None. Zero. They got to go. Noam said the United States wants a leader in Venezuela who will be a partner that understands that we're going to protect America when it comes to stopping it. Yes, that's right. She noted that we're looking for a leader who will stand up beside us and embrace those freedoms and liberties for the Venezuelan people, but also ensure that they're not perpetuating crimes around the globe like they have been in the past. Give it a rest, Corn Pop. Didn't vote for Kamala either. There's not a war between the Trump administration and Venezuela, he said. Yes. Booger sugar inflation. Yeah, well, it's always around the same. You thought, I thought they said Benny Suela. Then he then described Maduro as the leader of a drug cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which was designated a foreign terrorist organization last year. We will continue to reserve the right to take strikes against drug boats that are bringing drugs towards the United States that are being operated by transnational criminal organizations, including the cartel. Of course, the leader of the cartel is now in U.S. custody and facing U.S. justice. Maybe it'll be safe to go to Aruba in the near future. $100 a gram, always. What? Don't know about that. I mean, that's government prices. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. The Venezuelan regime has said for months that Trump's operations in the Western Hemisphere and actions against Maduro regime are part of an effort to take possession of the country's vast natural resources, especially its oil. Maduro was indicted in 2020 on U.S. charges, including narco-terrorism and conspiracy. He has denied any criminal involvement. Rubio said on January 4th that Maduro was given the opportunity to come to an agreement with the United States to leave Venezuela and relinquish power, even as recently as a week ago, but he stressed that Maduro has a history of not committing to the deals with the United States. Why did Puerto Rico close their airspace to U.S. flights over this? I don't know what your question you're asking. Puerto Rico does not have the power to shut its airspace down to U.S. flights. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. It belongs to the United States. They might not think they do, but they are our possession. Thanks to the old battle on San Juan Hill, the Rough Riders, Teddy Roosevelt. Puerto Rico is our property. It's the United States territory. Just like Guam. Just like a whole bunch of other islands. Anyways, did it just glitch for everybody else? Because it just glitched for me, and I don't know. Puerto Rico, not in the sky. I don't know what you mean by Puerto Rico, not in the sky. They tried. It's not up to them. Puerto Rico suspended its flights. Flights might have been shut down by the FAA because of all the it might have been shut down by the U.S. government because of all the planes. You had hundreds of planes flying in and out of Puerto Rico and other places. So maybe they didn't want any issues with all the, because those planes, I know that all the planes that were flying from Puerto Rico to do this shut off their transponders and everything. So, you know, Puerto Rico at sea level. I don't know what you're talking about. So you think that we own the property, but they control the skies? That'd be a funny thing to have them work out, how that works. With Maduro gone, other people in charge of the country's military and police will have to make a choice about the future of their nation. He said there should be no more Iran-Hezbollah presence, no more drug smuggling, and no more using the country's vast oil reserves to enrich U.S. adversaries. Yes, that's what they're going to get into, all this stuff. They were allowing everyone else international to fly in. They don't have that... as I said, Puerto Rico, this is a story I'm going to have to look into, because Puerto Rico is the property, it's a territory of the United States. All the air traffic controllers and everything that goes on there, those, it's all U.S. government. It should be TSA. So I don't know that they would have any, and the FAA controls all their airspace. Did I cover Alex Stein's latest? No, I didn't see it. And, you know, basically, same thing from Reuters. Just this large part of Maduro's security team killed in action. All right. And then we got this one. We got the Republicans rally around Trump's Venezuela operation with a few detractors. Just a few detractors. So we're gonna listen to Trump, and I know people might have seen this or heard it. But
late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer.
Hammer time!
All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that...
yeah, they implanted, that's what I said, this started 6 months ago. They implanted, which I'm not a big fan of doing, the cyber warfare stuff. They implanted like bots and Trojans and stuff like that into their infrastructure and basically fried the infrastructure. Like, we're very vulnerable to that here, and a country could do that to us and darken us. And just saying, not a good idea to play around with stuff like that.
We have, it was dark and it was deadly, but captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton. for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years.
Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, we don't want to be at very long wars and stuff. So let's see what the story says. So Republican lawmakers' reactions to President Trump's arrest and indictment of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on Saturday spanned the spectrum of the GOP. Trump's stalwart allies and Latin American hawks cheered the shocking operation. It wasn't shocking, while the president's few critics in the party rebuked the military action. The near unanimity among Republicans stood in stark contrast to the Democrats, who wasted no tears on Maduro being brought to justice for his crimes against the Venezuelan people and the global community, but condemned Trump as launching an illegal operation. Yes, illegal operation. Remember the movie Spy Game? They shut down the lights to extract Brad Pitt and his girlfriend from the prison. Yep. They probably successfully bribed people in key positions. That's what made it so easy. Somebody probably gave him up. That's what I'm saying. Somebody gave him up. It was most likely somebody close up to Maduro. They wanted the 50 millions, and they got the 50 millions. They say Delta just killed everybody in their path. Well, that's what they would do. I mean, they're going to go in. Anybody that puts up any type of reaction or has a gun on them is going to get smoked. I mean, that's how that type of thing works. Cancer, Dr. Meganuts says cancer kills five times more Americans a year, and the drug excuse is BS. It's about losing ground to Russia and China, but we lost the ground because we keep pleasing investors rather than the nation. Well, it's possible that's true. But no, I mean, when they're talking cancer numbers, though, it's not just smoking-related cancers. I mean, people get cancers from all types of other stuff, too. Late reaction, as usual. Talking about me? My reaction was late? I don't support any political party. I just support what I think is right and wrong. Yeah, I do too. Honestly, though, I think this is why I sleep with a headlight taped around my head. Oh, okay. All right. How about those Seahawks? Oh, they're doing good tonight. Okay. They never even shot back, it seems. No, it's weird. No, there was some shooting. There was a couple people got injured. There was a couple soldiers that took some small, like they didn't lose anybody, but a couple people took some shrapnel. A couple people took a couple bullets, I think, to their armor, to their body armor, stuff like that. And I believe a helicopter, because the helicopter got shot. Now, it didn't get shot down, but it took a couple of hits, but it was a helicopter that could take a few hits. Pat Hacker says that Trump told Marco not to pay out the $50 million because we did it all ourselves. Wow. Mm-hmm. Trump condemned Trump as launching a illegal operation outside the bounds of U.S. and international law. Only a few Republicans joined the chorus of Democrats, including notable Trump detractors Rep. Thomas Massie and Marjorie Trader Greene. Well, that's weird that she's a notable Trump detractor now. Someone who they said was MAGA is a notable Trump detractor. Where was their air defense? We took it all out. We launched something like 180 Tomahawks, a bunch of other missiles. There were some drones, and then a bunch of F-35s and F-22s came in, and some bunch of other planes, and we basically bled out the air. Every time they turned on a radar, it's basically what, the McCain wing of the party. Yeah. Basically, same thing we did in Iraq. Same thing we did. Same thing that it was what the Israelis did to Iran before we went in. Israelis took out all their air defense and stuff like that. So I think this in total this took, I think, 3 or 4 hours. It started off with just like it was all timed attacks. Like there was a long, Tomahawks are very slow in comparison to like other missiles. Are not hypersonics in any way, shape, or form. I think they only travel 500 to 600 miles an hour, which sounds really fast, but when it comes to a missile, that's slow. And 500-600 miles an hour, you can hit with gunfire. Maduro was guarded by the IRGC members, not Venezuelans. Dictators tend to have trust issue. He was also guarded by Cubans lately, is what I was reading, and them also. Mini shock and awe. Yeah. Reagan opened the door to Polish skilled labor, and then Trump abused the piss out of them. Okay. If China is supplying the chemicals to make fentanyl in Mexico, they were probably doing the same in Venezuela. Yes, I would think so, Sue. I would think so. Yeah, what's up, Duck Fact? Great to see you. Get the operation over before the politicians can get involved. That's the plan. Why would you go and brief Adam Schiff in the Intelligence Committee? He's just going to go and tell. He's going to go and tell people. If this action were constitutionally sound, the Attorney General wouldn't be tweeting that they've arrested the president of a sovereign country and his wife for possessing guns in violation of a 1934 U.S. firearm law. What? 25-page indictment, but no mention of fentanyl or stolen oil. Search it for yourself, the Kentucky Republican added in the second post. The Trump administration has justified mounting pressure on Venezuela and striking alleged narco-trafficking smuggling boats. Well, we saw the drugs in the boat, so it's not really alleged at that point. If you see the drugs, bales in the boats, how's it alleged? The president last month also demanded Maduro return to stolen oil. Well, yeah. I mean, we paid for all that stuff. Not we as in me, but the United States, companies and stuff paid to find it all, to drill the wells and do all the research and everything. So Massey's so full of shit. Drugs is mentioned in the first paragraph. Yeah, I know Massey's full of shit, as usual. A day earlier, Massey has criticized Trump's threats to military intervene on behalf of protesters in Iran as wasteful, illegal, and about the dollar, oil, and Israel. Oh, man, Massey. I hope that young tail's worth it because you're destroying your career. Green criticized Trump as pursuing regime change and funding foreign wars as diametrically opposed to Make America Great Again. Well, I mean, I think things that happen on the continent that on the landmass attached to the United States aren't really foreign, per se, wars as they're classified. I would call them domestic problems. Because if I was emperor of America, I would just conquer and take over everything in North America and South America, Central America. I would take it all over. It's mine now. Have a nice day. Cry about it. Whinge into the dying of the light. It's jokes, people, jokes. America's disgust with our own government never-ending military aggression, support of foreign wars, is justified because we're forced to pay for it, and both parties, Republican and Demon Rats, always keep the Washington military machine funded and going. This is why many in MAGA thought they had voted to end. No, they voted to end our involvement in the Middle East, our involvement in Europe. Greenland is far more vital for minerals for AI, drones, chips, etc. Greenland's still on the menu, boys. But Trump's most excited cheerleaders, including the Florida Republican delegation, these lawmakers are typically hawkish in calling out Maduro's illegitimacy and represented half of the Venezuelan community in the U.S. That's right, half of all Venezuelans in the U.S. live in Florida. Among the prominent of these GOP lawmakers is Rep. Brian Mast, chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He welcomed Trump's operation as another win by the administration to protect our homeland and clean up the backyard of the United States. As chairman, Mast holds jurisdiction over declaring war and deployment of U.S. armed forces. Oh, good to know. Drug lords and terrorists will no longer operate freely in our hemisphere, and drugs and illegals will not flow into our country. Thank God the American military is positioned off American shores to protect the people of the United States. China has called coltan the new gold in 10 years. Okay. Does this mean he's going after Saudi Arabia next? They did the same thing Chavez did back in the 70s. I believe what Saudi Arabia did it, though, was to BP. British Petroleum was a British company that they took it from. If I'm not, I think. Yes, hit the like button. Charvan is correct. Hit the like button. Venezuela has mass amounts of coltan and untapped legally. Okay. I would rather pay for this instead of welfare benefits in Somalia. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. By buying Greenland, Denmark can afford to pay the green socialist ransom the EU is making them pay. Yeah, it would make sense, right? If we want chips, we must take Greenland. I agree. We should just take Greenland. We should say it's ours now. It's ours now. That's what we should do. It's ours now. Many voters can't admit they were fooled. Yeah, well. Fool me once, shame on you. Imagine what the world would look like with 3 more years of Trump. Greenland will take it for sure, and then perhaps Canada. Yes. Definitely. Definitely. Can you see the ghetto chat? It's a bit glitchy for me. Let me look. Plus, we get control of the Northwest Passage. So that. Most chips I use come from Idaho. Oh, yeah. Potato chips. Definitely. Been researching for school. Sorry. No problem. No problem. Yeah. Get all the Praters, put them in prison, and process them like January prisoners. An eye for an eye. That did not come through. StreamYard is here. Look, StreamYard is not showing all the chats. Because here's the chat. Here's the chat that I believe Woodchick Mike says it's been glitchy. I believe this is the one he was talking about here. This one right here where it says, get all the troops, put them in prison. But for whatever reason, StreamYard is not letting that in. It's StreamYard. It's not Rumble, I don't think. Awesome. Thumbs up. Great. Annexing Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Navaroth, Northwest, and the Yukon Territories in eastern BC. Okay, sounds good. And then we got Representative Mario Diaz-Balart, House Vice Chair of Appropriations, praised Trump's Venezuelan operation. No, Jim, Google it. It's Standard Oil in Texaco. I had a step grandfather that worked over there. Oh, okay. I thought, for some reason, because they had a company. It was like a specific company called like Amram or something like that, or Amra or something that was a joint venture between BP and some other stuff. So maybe could it be the New Year? It could be a New Year, great New Year for not only the people in Venezuela, but Iran too. I have it, Doc. I'm going to pull it up. I have it. I'm going to pull it up. Whatever it is. I hear Chevron. Yeah. Rep. Carlos Jimenez, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, called Trump's Operation in Venezuela this hemisphere's equivalent to the fall of the Berlin Wall. Wow. Arco was one of them. I thought there was a company, like Arco or something like that, or but for some reason I thought the Brits were involved with Saudi Arabia because at one point the British controlled all that before the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia became the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The British installed the House of Saud to make it Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. Valero is a state-owned company, right? Always seemed odd that we let it operation in the U.S. still. Over 60% of the world's rare earth minerals are mined in China. We expect to hit 70% by 2030. Yes. Valero is a Venezuelan state oil company. That's what I thought. Risk players think that is the world. Well, botching it. Anaram was the Arabian version. That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. I thought it was something like that. Anaram or something like that. I knew there was some Aramco or something like that. Aramco. I don't know. It's a big day in Florida where the majority of Venezuelan, Cuban, and Nicaraguan exiles reside. This is the community I represent. We're overwhelmed with emotion and hope. Jimenez, who was born in Cuba. We are forever grateful to Presidente Trump and our brave service members for this stellar military operation, he added. And Rep. Maria Elivar Salazar called for the rightful leaders of Venezuela to restore freedom and rebuild the nation, welcoming Trump's announcement that Maduro was taken into custody. We get you. Mm-hmm. She wrote, tonight, a new cry of freedom echoes across the hemisphere, loud, clear, and unstoppable. Viva la libertad. Viva la libertad. Viva la libertad. Isn't that what they were chanting, though, in Cuba when Castro took over? When was it? Viva la libertad, the same thing? I don't know. I could be wrong. Salazar's district represents parts of Miami and southern Florida, home to the largest segment of Venezuelan diaspora community, and those who have previously received temporary protected status. No more temporary protected status now that the dictator's gone. Ding dong, the dictator dead, the dictator dead. Not dead per se, but like, you know, it's a song from Wizard of Oz. Trump's allies in the GOP competed to offer praise. Lindsey Graham described the U.S.'s capture of Maduro and his amazing achievement, took aim at demon rats, criticizing it, and called them pathetic and weak. You're pathetic and weak. Now drop it. Give me 20. He also warned U.S. adversaries like China over their alignment with isolated leaders, sharing a video showing Maduro earlier's meeting with China's special envoy for Latin America. Oh, by the way, quit propping up narco-terrorist dictators like Maduro. Quit buying oil from President Vladimir Putin that is keeping his war machine flush with cash, and reconsider propping up the Ayatollah of rock and rolla in Iran, a religious Nazi, by buying his oil. Oh. China has aligned itself with every bad actor on the planet, keeping conflict ablaze. Ablaze? It's time they pay a price for the chaos they are sowing. Didn't you know this is the chaos sowing? House Permanent Select Committee on the Intelligence, Rick Crawford, likened Trump's operation to the 1990 U.S. capture of Panamanian President Manuel Noriega on charges of racketeering and drug trafficking. Trump justified Maduro's arrest as ascertaining a fugitive from justice, joking that he had saved the U.S. from paying out $50 million for justice about a leader who faces drug trafficking charges. Drug trafficking charges. Why was Thomas Massey saying it was gun charges? This is a historic day in the Western Hemisphere. 36 years after the capture of Manuel Noriega, when the U.S. showed we will not allow cartels to take over countries in our shared neighborhood, the arrest of Cartel de las Soles leader Nicolas Maduro shows this clearly. Venezuela could not start the road back to great nation it once was until Maduro was out of the way. I call upon the Venezuelan people to reclaim their freedom. Viva la libertad! House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune also commended Trump for the military operation. The Trump administration unveiled a superseding indictment on Saturday against Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, that builds on narco-terrorism charges from 2020. Crappy, untested joke military. This could be. Well, Lindsay is primarily Republicans that sold out our manufacturing in China. It would be easier to have them have kept the horse in for the barn before chasing it now, moron. Let's read this story. We got this story. We're going to jump to Iran real quick, and then we'll jump back to Venezuela. Iran's Khamenei has escape plans to flee to Moscow if the regime falls amid protests. That's right. There's massive protests going on in Iran. Iran, so far away. I couldn't get away. Bum, 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 bum. The plan called Plan B. I thought Plan B was a pill people took the next day. Would include 86-year-old Ayatollah of Raqqa Khamenei flee with 20 close people, including family and aides. Well, you don't have to bring people with AIDS. They're going to die anyway. Iran's supreme leader speaks during a meeting in Tehran. Photo credit, blah, 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 blah. Supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, reportedly has an escape plan that involves fleeing to Russia if the current nationwide protests continue to intensify. The plan, called Plan B by the British report, would include an 86-year-old Khamenei and 20 close people, including family and aides. It would also involve a way of taking his vast asset network, which, according to 2013 Reuters investigation cited by the Times, is valued at about $95 billion and includes the Satad organization, one of the most powerful organizations in Iran, and Ayatollah's system of semi-state charitable foundations known for their financial obfuscation. The Plan B is for Khamenei and his very close circle of associates, including his son and nominated heir, Mojtaba. The report also mentioned, according to a former Israeli intelligence official, Benny Sabti, the Khamenei would leave for Russia as there is no other place for him. Iran, I don't run anywhere. My Iranian roommate would protest at Iran pronunciation. Tehran. Khamenei had previously assured that he admires Putin while the Iranian culture is more similar to Russian culture. Khamenei's plan emulates Assad's escape from Syria. I thought Russia was Christian. Why are they taking Muslim radicals? I don't know. I don't get it either. It doesn't make sense why you would want to take him in. The plan disclosed by the Times seems, the one used by Bashar al-Assad. Assad's now living in Russia, Russian luxury and brushing up on ophthalmology. A friend of the Assad family told Guardian that he's studying Russian and brushing up on his ophthalmology again. It's a passion of his. He obviously doesn't need the money, suggesting his target clientele will be Moscow's wealthy elite. It's inevitable whether it's welcome or not. I was just hoping what DG's watch was his overlords would say otherwise. Yes. Dick says, with the happenings in Iran and Venezuela, I can see gas below $2 by midterm elections. And with the Democrats supporting dictators, human smugglers, and all that, yeah. Well, you can't see it going well. Iran, the country. I mean, generally, though, usually when stuff like this happens, it causes gas prices to go up just because. No reason. U.S. Farsi account, President Trump is a man of action. As protests continue to spread in Iran, the Trump administration continues its maximum pressure campaign over the Islamic Republic. The message by U.S. President Trump about the possibility of dealing with the Iranian regime in a similar way, what he did Saturday, seemed to influence the protests. On Sunday, the Farsi account at the State Department published a picture of President Trump and a message. President Trump is a man of action. If you didn't know that, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Earlier on Sunday, the same post was made on the U.S. State Department's general account featuring a picture of Trump alongside U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. I don't know why I'm so tired tonight. I slept late today. What is going on? What is the temperature in here? 84 degrees in this room. That's why. Nice Bitcoin bounce today. Yeah, hold on one second. No yawning. You have 2 more hours to go. Well, sorry about that. I had to open a window, let some cold air in this room. Even with the air conditioning on, it doesn't, because this room with the door shut, it doesn't, the heat from here is not going around. And so the house could be 77, but it's 84 in this room. Take your fur baby outside for a pee break and fresh air for you. I might do that in a little bit when she wants to go. I just opened the window, so I'll get some. I got a window right here, so it's going to let some cold air because it's in the 60s right now here. I think it's like 65, so some cool air come in. I'll be fine. Everybody knows Trump will not come to the rescue of the violent rioters. 84? Yeah, 20 here. No, it's 84 in my room because my computer, this computer puts off so much heat. Like it's blowing right on me. And then the fan, it tells me the temperature, the fan adjusts depending on the temperature of the room, so I could look and see what the temperature is in the room, and it said it was 84 in the room. So she has a baby Bella on her back. No vent box. I don't know. So, what's this? What the hell happened? How did that happen? What the hell happened? I don't know what the hell happened to this all of a sudden. I was reading that. Okay. And then it just says, Trump told reporters on Sunday aboard Air Force One that if they kill people as they've done in the past, they will be hit hard by the United States. Biden sent over 100 payments to shell companies that have RBI in the name. Those same companies are connected to the Catholics. I believe it. Ghost of the machine, definitely. If you routinely have the house open, get a whole house fan. They are awesome. Sucks air through the house and exhaust through the attic. I should get one. Trump will definitely drop things in Iran if big killings happen. I would think so. You're 59 and you're drawing more electricity than a nuclear power station. Yeah, the 5090, it's not only the 5090, dude. I'll tell you right now, it's the 9950X 3D chip. That thing runs hot. That thing runs, regularly. If I'm playing Arc Raiders, that thing will get up into the 90s. I don't know why. And I was told that's fine, but I don't think that's fine. To me, that's not fine. And sorry for all the computer talk, people. So, all right. And then we just did this. Is House GOP critics break with Trump over Venezuelan operation. Here, we're gonna listen to MTG. We got this tab says MTG says Maduro's capture is not America first. Why do I have no sound?
Mr. President, why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world.
Why do you disagree, Congresswoman?
Well, you know, I served on the Homeland Security Committee for 3 years, and I am overwhelmingly in support of a strong border. I impeached Secretary Mayorkas. Those were my articles of impeachment that passed the House because fentanyl overdoses skyrocketed to 280% in my own district. And the majority of American fentanyl overdoses and deaths come from Mexico. Those are the Mexican cartels that are killing Americans. And so my pushback here is if this was really about narco-terrorists and about protecting Americans from cartels and drugs being brought into America, the Trump administration would be attacking the Mexican cartels. Now, I am not defending Maduro. And of course,
yes, I say attack the Mexican cartels too. If Sheinbaum has a problem with it, she can share a cell with Maduro's wife. Yes, Mayorkas for prison. Yes, lots of them rare earths. That's what we need. And I wanted to address this real quick here. It says, send in Delta. Good things happen. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You're going to need liquid nitrogen cooling. No, I don't want to do that. That's one of those, no. But, I mean, it's all water. That's what I don't understand. It's a completely liquid cooled system. I think it's the way they have the loop set up. I think they have the loop set up wrong. I think it should be going through, it shouldn't be going from, it goes through two radiators, two 360s, and then into the graphics card, and then into the, it goes from the pump to the graphics card to the chip, and then up to a radiator on top, and then to a radiator on the side. Right here, there's another radiator, and there's a radiator on the top. But I think it should, to me personally, I would have had it go through through the graphics card, then through a radiator, and then through the chip, and then through a radiator, and then through the you know what I mean, like that. I wouldn't have had it go through two chips because it's just letting it get heated before it gets cooled down. So that's what I think the problem is. My i9 runs up to 90 under load, no matter how much cooling I throw at it. Modern CPUs are nuts. Yeah, this thing gets up there, man. But this thing gets down. You know what I mean? Like this thing, I don't know, I get into computer talk, but I thought MTG was done. Yeah. But this thing, I did some scores on this, I got some really good scores on this. And yes, Jim rocks Arc Raiders like burnt peanut. I don't know what that means, burnt peanut, but I do like to play Arc Raiders. I'm pretty good at it too. I'll just say that. And if you see Jim tells you on Arc Raiders, that be me. And I'll tell you how I do. Good. Shut up, witch. Yeah, America's for prisons. Yes. The Vatican is one of the most successful banks in human history. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We should take over Mexico. Definitely. A lot of good vacation spots in Mexico, like Cancun, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta. We'd love to those places. Opus Dei answers directly to the Vatican. Yes. Mexico is run by the cartels. Yes, it is. That's why we got to go in. Delta, we get you there. That's right. They do. They got Maduro here. Follow the money. Yeah, nerd talk is always great. Buy an air conditioner. I used to have one in my other setup. I used to have an air conditioner at my other house, at my last house before this one. Simply in my room, that was my stereo room. I had a room with my stereo equipment because my amps, when my stereo equipment gets humming, the Class A amplifiers, you could fry an egg on them. And so I had to have an air conditioner just for that. But that's in the front room now. And I don't listen to as much music. I have a whole house system now that I listen to in all the rooms, and I don't let the Krells pound that much anymore. But Squirrel, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My 5060 runs 60 or so. Yeah. Is Blondie trying to make a comeback? Maybe. Preheating the CPU cooling water with the GPU. Brilliant. Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did. It's dumb, right? Trump needs to recognize Somalia and suggest they build some prisons so we have a place to send all these people. Okay, yeah, Somaliland, yes. Off-label podcast plays ARC Raiders regularly. Oh, well, I'd love to play with them. Yeah, I'll definitely play with them. You know, if depending on what time the stream ends, if the stream ends by like 2 o'clock in the morning or something, 3 o'clock in the morning, I might play it for an hour or two. We'll see if I'm not too tired tonight. I haven't figured out how to stream it. If I figure out how to stream it, then maybe I'll stream it, but I don't want to screw up the algorithm on the channel. So let's get back to this. Sorry.
Overdoses and deaths come from Mexico. Those are the Mexican cartels that are killing Americans. And so my pushback here is if this was really about narco-terrorists and about protecting Americans from cartels and drugs being brought into America, the Trump administration would be attacking the Mexican cartels. Now, I am not defending Maduro, and of course, I'm happy for the people of Venezuela to be liberated, but Americans celebrated the liberation of the Iraqi people after Saddam Hussein. They celebrated the liberation of the Libyan people after Gaddafi, and this is the same Washington playbook that we are so sick and tired of, that doesn't serve the American people, but actually serves the big corporations, the banks, and the oil executives. And so my pushback here is on the Trump administration that campaigned on Make America Great Again, that we thought was putting America first. I want to see domestic policy be the priority that helps Americans afford life after 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration. I want to see domestic policies that prioritizes jobs and affordable housing for Americans after 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration. And I want to see domestic priorities that put Americans first in regards of health care. Health insurance costs too much, car insurance, home insurance. And these are issues that matter to Americans. We don't consider Venezuela our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is right here in the 50 United States, not in the Southern Hemisphere.
What? She's so stupid? Yes, she's so stupid. 2 or more things can be true at the same time. Yeah, she is so stupid. Wasn't GoldenEye in 64? No, GoldenEye, the movie, it was called...
Is the United States now...
Oh, wait. Oh, we got another video here. Oh, I guess we'll watch another video. Here's a Rubio clip. Go ahead.
Is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
There's not a war. I mean, we are at war against drug trafficking organizations. It's not a war against Venezuela. We are enforcing American laws with regards to oil sanctions. We have sanctioned entities. We go to court. We get a warrant. We seize those boats with oil, and that will continue. We would continue to reserve the right to take strikes against drug boats that are bringing drugs towards the United States that are being operated by transnational criminal organizations, including the Cartel de los Sols. Of course, the leader of that cartel, is now in U.S. custody and facing U.S. justice in the Southern District of New York, and that's Nicolas Maduro. So we made a big progress in that regard.
Cool. Is there another video going to play? Let's see. No? Okay. Oh, the Pope reacts to events in Venezuela. Well, go figure. The Pope, a frickin' commie, is upset with what happened. Let's play this one. Let's see this one. Why aren't you playing? What are you trying to do? You killing me?
The White House Rapid Response Team releasing this video showing Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro being escorted through the halls of the New York City DEA headquarters. Maduro wishing the agents a happy new year. Maduro in custody hours after U.S. forces carried out a daring overnight blitz operation inside Caracas, capturing the indicted Venezuelan leader and his wife.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, let's see. Let's see. There's another video here. We got Maduro arrives in New York. We got let's see. We got a whole bunch of videos.
Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, arriving in New York to stand trial
after that daring secret U.S. mission to capture him. Video showing explosions over downtown Caracas and choppers flying over the city as the U.S. captured Maduro and his wife.
This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
These images showing the commander-in-chief watching the operation as it was happening from Mar-a-Lago, and the president posting this image of Maduro in U.S. custody. But perhaps just as surprising.
All right, I just want to point out, too, I saw a bunch of people complaining about the headphones and the glasses. All right. He was on a military helicopter. All right. Everybody wears headphones on military helicopters because the prop noise will make you go deaf. All right. If you've never been on one, they're not like, they're not known for soundproofing the helicopters. They're made to do a job. And so everybody wears cans, as they call them. All right. And the glasses are to prevent things from flying into his eyes because the sides are open on the helicopter. Yeah. Yes, Maduro was a member of the cult, unfortunately. He did have a tracksuit. Yes, he did. The hat looks retarded. The Green Eyes Devils are out for tonight. And he says, saw a great meme forward Trump with the caption, watch me get them to support dictatorships. The cartels know how to diversify their investments. Yeah, didn't you see the latest series, Landman, where the cartel is in the oil business now? Yeah. What about his wife and children? His wife is with him. His children, I don't know. I don't know where his children are. He'd be better blind. Well, they were protecting him. The American public is 10 steps behind the agenda of the swamp. She's that type of woman who tries to clean during a party. We were flooded with MS-13 and Tren de Aragua from Venezuelan Somalians, and we were effed around in a Venezuela and Somalia, almost like they intentionally flooded us to build hate. Maybe. Not everything she says is wrong, especially when it comes to big corporations. She's just not on board with the agenda right now. Too bad. Yeah, I don't know why she's what happened to her. Her children, his children are SOL. Maybe. I don't know. I thought one of his children were indicted for something, or he had a child that was supposed to be his takeover or something that he was going to take over. I don't know. But here, let's see.
Surprising as that secret mission, President Trump's declaration today that the U.S. will now run Venezuela during this transition period.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years.
The president saying the U.S. will take back American oil facilities that Venezuela nationalized, and he was pressed. Does that mean U.S. boots on the ground?
We're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night.
President Trump later telling the New York Post U.S. troops won't go to Venezuela, saying if the vice president does what we want, we won't have to do that.
That's right. Do what we want, or we're going to do to you what may happen anyway. Come on. Why is it taking so long to load these videos?
Adversary. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
He was in his pajamas. It's loud on the ship. Well, it also could be that they did it because they didn't want, maybe they didn't want him hearing what they were talking
As
about.
everyone knows, the oil business.
Oh, wow. That's loud. That's loud. That is loud. Let me turn it down.
In Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
Oh, well, that's good. This is going to be the last one we're going to wait. No, we don't want this one.
We're going to run the country until...
Oh, this one I want to see.
Just into us, getting a closer look at the scale of the destruction from the attack on Venezuela, the extraction of Maduro, 150 military aircraft from the U.S. coming in, landing. There was obviously fire exchange. This was the scene you're looking at right here in one of the places targeted. You can see some damage now at what appeared to be a residential complex, just really rubble here.
I actually visited one place that was also affected. So I was talking to the neighbors, and they were telling me, you know, why would the United States attack a residential area or somewhere near a residential area if they're not military targets? Although this place that I'm talking about is near a communication tower that served for the military.
Oh, so it was a communication tower that served for the military. All right, so let's do this real quick. And John Mosley says they put the headphones on you when you're in life flight. The big three corporations are all in cahoots. A tried and true business plan that's been working since the 12th century. Okay. You wouldn't be able to see who it was with that black bag over his head. Did they black bag him when they took him out? That's how they do, though, when they rendition people. They were Bluetooth headphones. They were playing music. Yeah, I saw the video of them listening to the music and everything and playing with the keyboard, the turntables. They should have used a ball gag like they did in Pulp Fiction. Maybe he can get California to turn their oil back on. They just shut the main line down on the 15th. Yeah, California's being some real stupid stuff right now. This is their plan, in my opinion, Spuds, according to Dr. Megawatts. Well, let me see what Dr. Megawatts put in there. Let me see if it's anything relatively connected. Well, I don't know. This seems like some kind of, I mean, I would pull it up, but it kind of seems like I don't know enough about this to comment on it. All this stuff about Bill Barr and Nick Fuentes and who is that? I don't know. Nick Fuentes' dad. I don't know enough about this to talk about it, Dr. Megawatts. So maybe someday I'll know enough about it and I can look into it, but I don't like to pull things up I don't have any knowledge about to talk about. Yeah, it's odd. I get it. No, I'm saying like I could show it, but I don't know. I don't have enough string twine on me, right now to connect all them dots. I'd love to do it. I would love to go full tinfoil hat and Alex Jones with you. Critics will say, which country? Yeah, no worries. I appreciate it, though. I'm going to look at it later. I promise you that, because I'm interested. You were just showing Spuds. Oh, okay. All right, never mind. All right, so look at this. So, 92-year-old Clinton judge who denied Trump's hush money removal to federal court and blocked Venezuelan gang deportations, now assigned to preside over the Maduro case. Old Jim would have enough string. Yes, you're right. Old Jim would have enough string. Dan Blackroyd has known Old Jim, and he knows. I do not shy away from getting conspiratorial. I still will. Oh, look at this, aluminum foil. See that? I was just talking about aluminum foil, and look at it, pops up. An advertisement. See that? I said tinfoil hat, and you get an aluminum foil ad. Don't tell me they're not listening to us. They're listening to us. The machine is listening. The Matrix is listening. Yeah. Wrap your car keys in aluminum foil. Fellow traveler Zoran Mandami says he called Trump to register opposition. Todd works in mysterious ways. Sometimes I really miss old Jim. Well, he might make a comeback. We'll see. I'm going to talk. I'm going to put a poll, like a thing in the group, in the member part of the channel, to ask if people would like me to do maybe like a Theory Thursday thing, like to bring back Theory Thursday, and instead of a news show on Thursday, do like some weird conspiracy theory topics or something. But we'll see. I don't want to, I liked all the new people and all the stuff, and I don't want to scare anybody away or have anybody, he says that Comrade Maduro's arrest claims that the move harms Venezuelans as they celebrate in the streets of New York City. Kevin says, I really like new Jim, but I loved old Jim. Yes, we must observe. Newly inaugurated New York City Mayor Zoran "the Commie" Mandami on Saturday said he called President Trump following the arrest of the Venezuelan dictator, a fellow communist. I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act. He further claimed that the operation was a violation of federal international law. Does everybody realize how retarded that statement is? Federal international law? Well, this is some retard that just got elected to be the mayor of New York City. And he's calling the president to say he's a violation of federal international law. What federation is it? The Global Space Federation? Super Troopers? What? Spud says, a Theory Thursday is better than having mandatory tracksuits. Yeah, no such thing. Yes. I was briefed by my first deputy mayor, my chief of staff, and my chief counsel, the police commissioner, as well as members of my team. I called the president and spoke with him directly. Lisa says, Alex Jones used to scare me, but now I get it. Yeah, Alex Jones, he's a showman. He's a born showman. And what he does is puts on a show. That's all. Like, there's always some facts that are true in what he's saying. You got to just find them. But he just kind of makes it a spectacle, which I love. I love the spectacle. I love it. I loved Art Bell growing up. Loved Art Bell. I called the president, spoke directly to him, and voiced my opposition. Yes. Alex Jones is the professional wrestling of news. He puts on a really, really big show. But if we don't have tracksuits, what will we wear on Tracksuit Thursday? I don't know. Yeah, Art Bell was cool. Yeah. Here, we're going to get to hear him say, Mandami thinks he's important. I hate stupid people, Jim. Well, I don't cry. I don't cry because I'm upset that, people shouldn't cry that they're stupid. I cry because people are stupid and it upsets me. I had to think of the saying, the phrase.
The real reason you're stiff after sitting.
You can live a very long time without getting old. My wife just turned 74.
How this family can eat whatever they want.
Oh,
so is
whoa.
that your mom? No, that's my grandma. Wait.
What?
I was briefed by my first deputy mayor, my chief of staff, my chief counsel, the police commissioner, as well as other members of my team. I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act and to make clear that it was an opposition based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal international law, and a desire to see.
Wait, he did say federal. Wait.
Opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal international law, to the violation of federal international law.
Okay, he's retarded. They elected a retard. They literally elected a retard as mayor. Huh. Wow. I guess Andrew Branca's right about that whole IQ stuff. Depending on where you're where you're born affects IQ. I guess it's true.
And a desire to see that be consistent each and every day. I registered my opposition. I made it clear, and we left it at that.
Yeah. I cry when stupid people get put in charge. That's right. Hey, Stacey Abrams was president of the United Earth on Star Trek. This is your time, Jim. Could be. Yes. Madami was basically elected because he's pretty. That pig, lol. Trump probably said F off. Trump probably didn't even take the fucking call. Come on. He didn't answer the phone. I registered. He told the secretary, well, I'm opposed. Yeah, have a nice day. This guy hides a D in his A. Maybe. You can't fix stupid, not even with duct tape. But you can get it to shut up, can't you, with duct tape? That's a joke, people. Don't ever duct tape someone's mouth shut. That's a crime. Yeah, slow it down. They gave him a script to read. Oh, slow this down? I don't know if they'll give me the option. Speed, slow it down. All right, let's go.
Based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal international law, and federal international law, to the violation of federal international law.
Wow. Well, that's bad. That makes it even worse. We had Congress declare war on drugs since 83. It was legal. Yeah. Time for the Borg. Not just a retard, a lying retard. Definitely. Hey, we got, yes, it's true. They have said it for years and basically said it was because of nutritional problems. Yeah. Well, I think it also, honestly, it has to do with nutritional problems. It also has to do with marrying first cousins. If you look at all the places where first cousin marriage is a thing, it affects your IQ. It just does. Who does this dumbass think he is? Seriously, he's nothing. Does he really think Trump gives a shit what he thinks, Snafu? No, he doesn't. I want to be there when karma dry F's your A with a cactus. Ooh, that's an awesome thing. Tell the infidels what they want to hear. Yes. Yeah. You can't question Madami. He has a lot of retarded power, and people born here are just as stupid, so Branca is not that correct. Yeah, well, you can fix stupid with a lobotomy, maybe. In the Navy, we duct tape people, whole body taping. Yeah, to a pole. Yeah. Well, we duct tape people into their racks. I guess now you get in trouble. Slowly pulling off the tape of the spouse. Sorry. Those aren't even complete sentences. Yeah, I know. What am I supposed to do? For your birthday. Yeah. Branca's new coffee mug is going to have the World IQ map on it. Oh, that's going to be awesome. I've got 3 of his other ones. Madami is on double secret probation. I breathe at Tasmanian Rebel. Thanks for being here. Maybe we have federal and international law. Just like all the royal families inbreed. Yeah, that's why they have all types of health issues. They do. I mean, look at Prince Charles. Look at that person. Tell me that person's not inbred. Holy crap. He has to be a plant. They ran Cuomo against him, a dude that got people killed and sexually assaulted women. It's like they wanted Madami to win. I know, but that's what they blamed it on, to support feeding programs. Okay. USS Cape Cod, 8043. Whole division got captain mast. Oh. Navy chief humiliation ritual. I don't even know, Snarf, can they still do, shellback and stuff like that, and blue nose? Can they still do that? Or has that been banned because of, anti-bullying? Voting locations should be at the end of a long maze. Yes. Definitely. So. Oh, wait. So, yeah. So that's him, what he has to say. And then Breitbart says, Mandami whines about Maduro's capture, registered as opposition. The elections here are stolen. Yes, they are. So, yeah. So, he continues to express displeasure that military captured Venezuela's communist dictator. Why are they calling him a socialist? He was a communist. Shellback was a joke. You have no in-person voting here? But no, but people used to wear dresses and stuff like that and do like stuff. Weird things happen. Anyway. Got the paper? All right. And Democrat lawmakers say they were misled on Venezuela. At the Maritime Academy, we wrapped freshmen in tinfoil and sent them out on the bow to calibrate the radar. Well, that sounds awesome. Democrat lawmakers say they were misled. Well, let's see. Is this Trump speaking or Democrat speaking? Which is it? I like listening to Trump talk. I don't like listening to Democrats talk. We might have heard this already.
President, does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, you know, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it. But we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to.
Wow. Crazy. No. All right. So Democrat members of Congress said, I heard Washington State is going to outlaw investigating child care centers. Damn, I hate these people. Why would they be opposed to people investigating fraud at daycare centers and stuff? To me, it seems like a no-brainer that you would want stuff like that, taken care of. That you would want it to be, resolved in a way that the people, there wasn't fraud. My dad and his buddies told tales about the equator ceremony. Yeah, it used to be. Like, I don't even think they can do it anymore. That's what I was getting at. I think that was all, I think that got like right around, 92, 93, somewhere around there. I think it got completely gutted. If you breed hate that goes with your policy, it's more likely to go over well. Okay. Feds can investigate whoever they want. I skipped Cinco de Mayo one year because we were crossing the international date line. Oh. Cool. I guess. AI estimates 150,000 Venezuelans live in New York City. Yeah. Well, there's more. They're demon rats, Jim. Yeah, I know. They're demon rats. Bag and tag tape. So the demon rats, and Congress said that senior officials in Trump's administration misled them during recent briefings about the plans for Venezuela by insisting they were not planning regime change in Caracas. Well, they're not. They just plan on arresting the criminal. I mean, we're not. The fucking Democrats tried to arrest Trump, and they're worried about us arresting a drug dealer, a cartel leader with a $50 million bounty on his head? Get the fuck out of here. One of the congressmen submitted a bill for that, wanted to call an investigation a hate crime, First Amendment violation. Wow. Comments come after the U.S. attacked Venezuela and deposed long-serving President Nicolas Maduro. We didn't depose him. We just arrested him. He got arrested. In actuality, his immunity for being a leader, like there's generally like immunity for leaders of countries, like immunity for being arrested, like they're not going to arrest him. That got revoked by years ago. Like not by Trump either. I think it was Biden's removed his immunity when they put the $25 million bounty. Biden put the $25 million bounty on him, and I believe it was removed then. Someone has to make sure they are following requirements for certification and quantity ratios for aids to children. Yeah, someone. But they don't have any children, so don't need any aids. The comments come after the U.S. attacked Venezuela and deposed. Yeah, no. Nicolas Maduro in overnight in Washington's most direct intervention in Latin America since the '89 invasion of Panama. In briefings, in November and December by officials, including the Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Lawmakers said they were told repeatedly that there were no plans for a land invasion, that the administration was not focused on regime change. Well, it wasn't a land invasion. They went in by air. Let's be technical. They didn't invade by land. They went in by air. A land invasion means you're storming the beach. Well, that actually would be a sea invasion. A land invasion would be coming in across the borders of land. Let's talk about it the way it is. Because the president's cabinet repeatedly denied any intention on conducting regime change, we are left with no understanding of how the administration is preparing to mitigate the risks to the U.S., and we have no information regarding a long-term strategy. Biden putting the bounty, flooding the country, and paying Catholic shell companies only adds to the Opus Dei theory. It was an arrest, not an invasion. Yeah, we just arrested them. We do it all the time. They send like marshals to go arrest people in other countries all the time. They sneak in and grab them all the time. You know, people that aren't like the president, but because it was the president of a country, they had to use, you know. Yeah. Jeanne Shaheen, the top Democrat in the Foreign Relations, Demon Rat in the Foreign Relations Committee, said, instead, the administration consistently misled the American people and their elected representatives by offering three differing and contradictory explanations. Well, here's the thing. You don't announce when you're going to do something like this, because that's how people get killed. And you don't tell the loudmouths in Congress that are going to run around and talk about it. I don't think she's one of the Gang of Eight anyway. The Pentagon, State Department, and White House did not immediately respond for comment. Several lawmakers said they felt they'd been lied to. The administration lied to Congress and launched an illegal war, said Rep. Don Beyer, another demon rat, on X. Beyer's district includes the Pentagon, just across the river from Washington. It was the same as the SEAL Team 6 going in to get Osama bin Laden. Yeah, we didn't go to war with Pakistan, did we? Congress does have a tendency to leak, Trump told reporters. Members of Congress, including some of Trump's fellow Republicans as well as demon rats, have been clamoring for more information about the strategy towards the oil-rich South American nation since he began a military buildup in the Southern Caribbean and ordered strikes on boats he said were carrying drugs. We have pictures of the drugs. The bounty and charges under Biden filed was just CYA empty gesture. They're just pissed Trump executed and screwed up any money they made. Russia at all pissed they hurt a puppet, the detractors. Yes. Oh, he invited them like Uber Ice. Oh, okay, cool. We were told no. Democrats had emerged from those meetings dissatisfied. I asked them what their strategy is and what they're doing, and again, didn't get satisfied answer, says Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is going to say that no matter what. Chuck Schumer's a fucking scumbag. All these people are scumbags. It doesn't matter what anyone told them. They're going to be acting like this because it's Orange Man bad. All right? And they're pissed. He reminded everyone this is a small world now and use or lose power. That's right. That's right. It's a big stick. And if you don't use it, why you got it? Geigers are pegged. Never happens. I don't know what you're talking about. Chernobyl? Chris is here. Subdivisions. Great show. If you guys check him out, he does a lot of karaoke and other stuff. He was just on Ant's show. That's Anthony Cumia. I don't know if you guys know who Anthony Cumia from the Opie and Anthony show. He does a show every Sunday night on WABC and in New York, and it's also across the web. You can listen on the WABC app or other places, and it's simulcast, I believe, in 40 locations now. He was just on Ant's WABC show talking about these idiot politicians who obviously they nor do anyone of their staff know what actually is in the Constitution. No, they don't. Thank you very much for the $5. Thank you very much, Chris. And then with that, we are now $85 away from the third additional hour of the show. The Iranians are calling Iran occupied by the mullahs. Well, that's awesome. Oh, 600. Yeah, okay, you're talking about the Chernobyl TV show. Persia is occupied by the mullahs. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So thank you, Chris. You guys should check out Anthony Cumia. He does a great show. He just got over, actually. 11 o'clock his show ends. He goes from 8 to 11. Normally I listen to it when I can. I listened to the first hour tonight. Thought it was pretty good. My second husband was a 7SFG C Medic Panama. They had boots on the ground 2 weeks before they took action. This recent action was completely different. 7th Special Forces Group, C Medic. Okay, beer is good. Yes, it is. It could possibly be that he was about to be removed as the puppet by the cartels. We saved his life. It's possible. Kumi is paid now to spew right-wing BS. He's not the old aunt of Sirius or WNEW. Well, Dr. Meganauts, I'm going to tell you something. I've been watching Anthony Cumia and listening to Anthony Cumia since Opie and Anthony. All right. Well over 20 years. When he got fired from SiriusXM, I was one of the first subscribers to Compound Media when he was doing it in his house. I'm still a subscriber to Compound Censored. I've met him in person, talked to him. I think he's a great guy. And he's always had these opinions. And this right-wing stuff, he toned it down a lot on the radio before when he was on Opie and Anthony, simply because Opie is a left-wing weirdo. And I like Opie too, though, don't get me wrong, but Opie's a liberal. All right. Anthony's never been a liberal. Never. Anthony's always been right wing. That's why him and Patrice got along so well. Because no matter what you might think about Patrice O'Neill was not a crazy leftist liberal weirdo. He was your average black man in America who is conservative. Very conservative. People don't believe that, but they are. When you talk to them, they are. Rackets seems to be one of the few admitting it might be less than ideal, but in all likelihood, it's totally legal, constitutional. Just in this day and age, nobody really cares about it if it hurts their fifis. Yeah, I mean, they can impeach Trump, you know. Yeah, this guy says same. Ant has been consistent. Same. Yeah. Black comedian. Yeah. I know Ant has been right wing, but he was also calling out the right, and it means no matter who was in charge, he'll call out black comedian named Patrice. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Greg Patrice was hysterically funny, dude. He was on The Office for a while. My ex performed the pre-flight med check on Manuel Noriega and said he was mad as a motherfucker. Yeah, one of his jokes. Yeah. Anyway, on to the stories. Let's no sidetracks. Come on, stop sidetracking me. So, Rep. Seth Moulton from Massachusetts, a mass of two shits. When we had briefings on Venezuela, are you going to invade the country? Do you plan to put troops on the ground? We were told no. We didn't. It wasn't an invasion. It was an arrest. When the police come and break in someone's house, but did they invade people's houses when they arrested people on January? Yeah, no, I didn't do that stuff. Bella, stop moving, damn it. I got to keep moving the camera for you. You're killing me, Smalls. What are you doing over there? Licking your paws? It's much bigger than left versus right. Yeah, it is. You're popping aspirin. Why, you got a heart problem? Lawmakers said they were not briefed before the operation, although Rubio has been calling members of Congress on Saturday morning after it took place. There were no briefings for lawmakers scheduled by Saturday afternoon, although Republican congressional leaders said they hope to arrange some after lawmakers returned to Washington on January 5th. None of the lawmakers were in town, so what were they supposed to do? Yeah. Most Republicans praised Trump's action. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said President Trump's decisive action to disrupt the unacceptable status quo and apprehend Maduro through the execution of a valid Department of Justice warrants is the important first step to bring him to justice for the drug crimes for which he has been indicted in the United States. That's right. Members of Congress have long accused presidents from both parties of seeking to sidestep the Constitution's requirements that Congress, not the president, approve anything other than brief and limited foreign military action. Well, if this wasn't brief, 3 hours. I mean, this was a couple hours. I mean, what you talking about, Willis? It was 6 hours, okay? 6 hours in toto. On Venezuela, Democrat lawmakers and some Republicans have even said before Saturday's overnight action that they were worried that Trump was conducting a 4-month-long military campaign without congressional authorization. Well, you know what? Congress has the power to purse. If they thought that, they could always have defunded it. Said you can't spend any money on this. I didn't see any of them do that, did you? I mean, that's what they're supposed to do if they have a problem with it. Right? Right. Yeah. Presidents have 30 days before they have to involve Congress. Yeah. And then Congress has a choice of defunding it. Congress can't tell them to stop. Congress can just say we're not going to pay for it. then that's it. And then there's no money. All right. And here we're going to talk about a couple of these. We're going to show a couple of these weirdos and why they're tards. So here we go. So Chris Murphy is the greatest example of how demon rats are completely full of shit in their criticism of Trump on Venezuela. Here he was during the first Trump term with Maduro in power versus what he says now that Maduro has been removed. Here's Chris Murphy. It says, if Trump cared about consistency, he would make the real case for intervention in Venezuela. Getting rid of Maduro is good for the United States, rather than just trying to pretend his administration all of a sudden cares about toppling anti-democratic regimes. Right? And then here he is now. It says, this invasion of Venezuela had nothing to do with American security. Venezuela is not a security threat to the United States. What fucking planet are you on? Tren de Aragua. What? This is about making Trump's oil industry and Wall Street friends rich. Trump's foreign policy in the Middle East, Russia, Venezuela is fundamentally corrupt. Oh, man. This guy is such a fucking piece of shit.
Venezuela is not a security threat to the United States. They're not threatening to invade us. There is no terrorist group like Al-Qaeda operating there that has plans to attack the United States. To the extent that you care about the drug trade, yes, they produce drugs, but those drugs go to Europe. Fentanyl is the drug that's killing Americans. That's not coming from Venezuela. Venezuela produces cocaine. 90% of it is not coming to the United States. This seems to be mostly about oil and natural resources. Donald Trump's entire foreign policy is corrupt. Russia, the Middle East, and now Venezuela is all about making money for his friends. And Wall Street, the oil industry, they can make a lot of money off of Venezuela if they run it. You saw within hours of the invasion, the announcement of a group of Wall Street investors, energy industry investors, planning a trip to Venezuela to make money off of this invasion, off of this ouster. So unfortunately, once again, you're seeing that this president's foreign policy, the invasion of Venezuela, the ouster of Maduro, is about making his crowd filthy rich. It has nothing to do with American national security.
Oh, okay. 47 minutes. Okay. Did Murphy get his money back from the Ukrainian laundromat? So that's him, you know. Yeah, this you. The Trump cared about consistency. He would have done something. Then we got this other one here, which is a good one. Democrat Mark Warner last year. The Biden administration did not put enough pressure on getting Nicolas Maduro out. I think Trump came in with good intentions, but got blackmailed to go off his campaign promises. Yeah, Murphy never heard of Tren de Aragua. Asked Lake and Riley's family. But got blackmailed to go off his campaign promises. I don't really know that this is not his campaign promises. I mean, America first would be saving Americans, so that would be anyone hurting Americans, we hurt them. That's America first. You hurt Americans, we hurt you. You know, I mean, you send one of ours to the hospital, we send one of yours to the morgue. That's the Chicago way. See, I love these movie quotes. My keyboard sucks. Don't worry, I try to catch up. Hey, y'all, I'm catching up on 2x speed. It's KPT. What's up, KPT? Great to see you. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and beautiful New Year's. Or Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate, or Kwanzaa, or, you know, Festivus. So, complains that President Trump got Maduro out. So, yeah, he says that...
I've said repeatedly, the Maduro regime has been brutal to the Venezuelan people. And I think the Biden administration made a huge error when a couple years back, the Venezuelans voted overwhelmingly to get rid of Maduro, and they didn't put enough pressure on getting him out. But that still begs the question is, what is President Trump's theory of the case? Is it regime change? We've got a mass of forces almost unprecedented in the region. I've said repeatedly.
Oh. Now, our Constitution places the gravest decisions about the U.S. military force in the hands of Congress for a reason. Using military force to enact regime change demands the closest scrutiny precisely because of the consequences that do not end with the initial strike. If the United States asserts the right to use military force to invade and capture foreign leaders it accuses of criminal conduct, what prevents China from claiming the same authority over Taiwan's leadership? What stops Vladimir Putin from asserting similar justification to abduct Ukrainian president? Yeah, what does? Once this line is crossed, the rules that restrain global chaos begin to collapse. None of this absolves Maduro. He is a corrupt authoritarian who has repressed his people, stolen elections, imprisoned political opponents, and presided over humanitarian catastrophe. The Venezuelan people deserve Democrat leadership, and the United States, oh, shut up. The United States and the international community should have done far more years ago to press for a peaceful transition after Maduro lost a vote of his own citizens. But recognizing Maduro's crimes does not give any president the authority to ignore the Constitution. Where in the Constitution does it say the president can't do this? Show me in the Constitution where it says that. Anywhere. Show me. Show me the spot. Find it. It ain't there. The hypocrisy underlying this decision is especially glaring. The same president recently pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was convicted in U.S. court of serious drug trafficking charges, including conspiring with narco traffickers while in office. Yet now the administration claims that similar allegations justify the use of military force. America's strength comes from our commitment to the rule of law. Oh, geez, these people talking about rule of laws and democratic norms are fucking insane after what they did to Trump, what they tried to push, trying to get rid of the people running for office in Romania and Hungary, the shit with Ukraine, Romania. Did I say Romania already? Brazil, the shit in Brazil. You're gaslighting. The sink does not need congressional approval every time his military clicks off safe. And he doesn't need to inform Congress for 48 hours after the use of military force. Finally, the AUMF from 2001 is still in place and still applies to terrorists. We can't selectively interpret our laws or our Constitution. That's why we wrote them down. You don't just like the guy using force, and you definitely don't like his interpretations of our laws, which is correct. Your selective rage at Trump is only matched by your selective understanding of the enforcement of our laws. This you? Yeah. We got this. We got the hands-off Venezuela protest. Yeah, 5 to the morgue. There's a lot of wankers in Congress now. Yes, there are. I can't believe I ever voted for Warner. He's such a wanker years ago. He wasn't such a wanker. He was always a wanker. Clear and present danger. You look pale when you lose the green. Oh, okay. No, marital law. Yeah, marital law. Warner needs to review Article 2. Yeah, Article 2, it's pretty simple. It says there will be the executive power of the United States will be vested in a president. I don't know. The hands-off Venezuela protest taking place in New York City supporting Nicolas Maduro is being organized by the People's Forum. The People's Forum is an NGO that received $20 million from a billionaire who lives in China with ties to the CCP. His name is Neville Singham. The NGO's primary funding, over $20 million, is Neville Roy Singham. What do you know? I was right. Singham's residence is Shanghai. His business ties are the CCP. He attends CCP-related events, and he funds media outlets echoing Chinese state narratives. I think Bella's going to have to go out, so I might have to find something to play. How come Barry could take out Gaddafi? Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah, these crazy people right here. This is not very long. We had a long video to play. At least they decided to change their outfits from all the black bloc with the masks, and they put on this other weird crap. Party for Socialism and Liberation. Oh, so it's a bunch of fucking commies. It's commies. Look at this. They're commies. Bunch of commies. Yeah, workers.org. Yeah. Why was the, I saw something about the, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me look for it. No, bookmarks. I know I have it here. Let me find it. Damn it. I thought I had it where it showed that that Maduro was meeting with union members from the SEIU and other unions a couple of years ago. So, yeah, and then Journalist Nate Friedman is on the ground in New York City and confirms that the Hands Off Venezuela protest is paid. Yeah. Both sides will play a video saying these people want blah, blah. Both sides lie, pay people to protest and trick people. Yeah. They must have warehouses pre-printed TDS protest sign. Yeah. Now look at all these people supporting the capturing of Maduro. He confirms that the People's Forum NGO funding is backed by CCP-linked billionaire living in China, $20 million to fund the process.
All the signs are already propped up. They're just against the walls. Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
what you do.
Thank you
for everything you do.
Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank you. Hey, Manolo, how you doing? My name is Nate. Nice to meet you. I'm good. How are you? Would you mind doing an interview right now? Can I ask why? You're the leader of the People's Forum. You got $20 million from Roy Neville Singham to protest. Can I ask why you don't want to speak with me right now? Do you deny that you got $20 million to protest? You don't deny that? How are you spending that $20 million to protest? I know you're paying David Chung $75K a year. Anyone else on the payroll? Oh, David, what's up, man? I didn't recognize you. Hey, you're back, buddy. How you doing? $20 million to paid protest. Won't deny it. Won't deny it. Because it's a fact. All the signs are already propped up.
This is a fact. It's a fact. We are the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to news and narratives. We feed what they want us to think. Yeah, well, you got to try to read. You got to try to read between the lines. That's why I look at everything and try to get it. Try to get it figured out. In January, just before they left office, the Biden administration and Kamala Harris offered $25 million for information leading to Maduro's arrest. Now Kamala is outraged Maduro was arrested. These people are so dumb, it hurts my brain. Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela during a swearing-in ceremony for militia members this month in the country's capital. The Biden administration said on Friday that it was offering $25 million for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela, after he assumed a third term in office despite evidence suggesting he lost the recent election. The announcement was a retaliatory measure by Washington, which does not recognize Maduro as the rightful president of Venezuela. Maduro has presented no evidence that he won a July election, while his opponent, Edmundo Gonzalez, has presented thousands of publicly available vote tallies that he says indicate he easily won the most votes. The United States has said that Mr. Gonzalez is the president of Venezuela and urged Maduro to step aside. Step aside, Maduro. Donald Trump's actions in Venezuela do not make America safer. I think they do. I think time will tell, but I think they make us safer or more affordable. I think it will make things more affordable. Getting all the illegals out of the country will make things much more affordable. Really will. Yes. Yes, Bella needs to go to the bathroom. I know. I'm going to find a video to play. Maduro, the fact that Maduro is brutal and illegitimate does not change the fact that this action was both unlawful and unwise. It wasn't unlawful, and I think it was pretty wise. We've seen this movie before. Yes, we have. All right, let me find something for play for Bella here. Let me find a video. Hey, Joe is watching right now. Joe is streaming. I didn't know that. I didn't know Joe was streaming. Huh. That's odd. Let me find my videos. Sorry, I should have had something. I should have had something lined up to play, and I don't because I'm a dummy. All right, I'll play this video. Probably not gonna. Just started. I got a notification a minute ago. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't. send me a message or nothing. Yeah, he just went live. Joe's live. I'm out. Okay, go ahead, Richard. Run away. Go ahead. Be like that. Bella's on the move. I know. I got to take her out. Let me play this for you guys. Now we're going to get into what's going on. Minneapolis, of all places, if you could believe it, blatant fraud. Feds uncover fake marriages, elder exploitation, and phony debt records after a massive immigration bust in Minnesota. So look at this blatant fraud. There's a massive federal operation in Minnesota because they found that 50%, we're going to get to it, but 50% of the people that came in, refugees and the people that came in, they all committed immigration fraud. 50% immigration fraud. Wow. Under the Operation Twin Shield, law enforcement followed up on 1,000 cases by knocking on hundreds of doors and conducting interviews and reviewing immigration criteria. In 275 of those cases, they found fraud, noncompliance, or public safety and national security concerns. Wow, look. First on Fox. Massive immigration bust uncovers sham marriages, elder exploitation, and fake death certificates. He refused that Africans would commit fraud. Was that Cash App from you, Julio? Was that 10 from you? If so there's that. It says, Operation Twin Shield proves what we've known for years. Immigration fraud isn't a loophole. It's systemic theft. Sham marriages, fake death certificates, elder exploitation, all funded by taxpayer dollars meant for citizens. United States Customs and Immigration Services found fraud in 275 cases, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Every dollar wasted on these scams is stolen from veterans, seniors, and working Americans who paid into the system. The real issue is bureaucrats enabling this rot for decades by prioritizing optics over enforcement. Now, under the Trump's leadership, agencies are finally cracking down. ICE and the FBI are coordinating, and this coordination should have happened years ago. Yeah. I think Dick Parker, actually, I think it's possible that this is all because of her. Like that they're going to do all this just so they can go, and we found out about you too. So fraudulent asylum claims and marriage scams aren't victimless. They bankrupt Medicaid, they overload our courts, and they put national security at risk. Time to deport the fraudsters, prosecute the enablers, and redirect every cent to Americans who earned it. Islamification, the U.S. CIS Director Joseph Edlow revealed that at least 50% of the Islamic migrants in Minnesota committed immigration fraud with the help of USAID Soros-funded NGOs. That's right. Funded by Soros, immigration fraud. Biden's Immigration and Customs and Immigration Services, whatever, Director Ur Mendoza Duad designated a parole program that enabled the creation of Islamic enclave with unvetted military-age migrants in Minneapolis. Let's see. So we're going to listen to it. He's going to talk about it real quick here.
You're aware of the CHNV, the parole programs that the previous administration was involved in, bringing people in. People here were allowed to sponsor individuals to come in from certain countries. As I said, we found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship. That is fraud. That's something that should have been caught. It's something that I know the previous administration was aware of how the sponsorships were happening, and action was taken. I'm glad to see that we're taking action. You're aware of the
And the director disclosed that at least half the Islamic migrants in Minnesota engaged in immigration fraud with assistance from USAID, Soros-funded NGOs under Biden. Former director created a parole program. Didn't we already watch this? Is this another one? What is going on here? Is this the same thing?
You're aware.
I guess he just posted the same thing twice. I don't know. So you see it here.
The parole programs that the previous administration was involved in, bringing people in. People here were allowed to sponsor individuals to come in from certain countries. I said we found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship. That is fraud. That's something that should have been caught. It's something that I know the previous administration was aware of how the sponsorships were happening, and no action was taken. I'm glad to see that we're taking action.
Well, numbers don't lie. Fraudulent immigration enabled by NGOs and lax policies is a direct threat to the national security of, keep hearing something, taxpayer resources under Biden's watch. Agencies like USAID became slush funds for globalist agendas, prioritizing ideological pet projects over vetting. The result is unvetted military-age migrants exploiting parole loopholes to create enclaves that undermine community safety and drain public resources. Trump's policies proved enforcement works. Strict vetting, remain in Mexico, deport criminal aliens, restore order. Every dollar wasted on fraudulent asylum claims is stolen from veterans, seniors, and working Americans. Time to shut down the NGO racket, deport the fraudsters, put America first, no compromises. Yeah. Doge AI is based, is all F. Yeah. Then you got Gunther Eagleman just says, deport them all. DHS exposes massive fraud by migrants in Minnesota. What do you know? Huh. Oh. Multiple people arrested after feds uncover massive immigration fraud scheme involving hundreds in Minnesota. An immigration enforcement sweep in Minneapolis-St. Paul area found widespread immigration fraud, according to the director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. Officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work as businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visa system, and many other discrepancies. The director, Joseph Edlow, told reporters Tuesday, the Twin Cities seen a massive rise in Somali refugees and immigrants, with over 82,000 Somalis living in Minnesota. The area targeted for the enforcement sweep includes areas in and around the congressional district represented by Democrat Rep. Ilhan Omar. Okay, do you guys hear that? Because that just got crazy. That was nuts. I was hearing something playing in the background. So do you hope it doesn't take them years to deport them in Minnesota? Well, I think if you catch them with fraud stuff, I think it's like a quick ticket way out, I think. So the Post report cited an immigration official that nearly 50% of the inhabitants in 1,000 homes targeted were involved in some types of fraud. Their officers found indications of fraud, noncompliance, public safety, would shock America. The immigration fraud undermines our lawful immigration system, harms those who follow the law, and poses a risk to our national security and public safety. Under POTUS, we will leave no stone unturned through partnerships like Operation Twin Shield. Wow. That. Hundreds of migrants greeted by agents in Trump's all-out war on immigration fraud. You guys didn't hear that? Okay. Something started playing. I had to figure out what tab it was coming from. I hate when that happens. One immigrant underwent a sham marriage with an elderly American who was then subject to elder abuse and exploitation. Another immigrant admitted faking a Kenyan death certificate for $100 to end his marriage with his wife, who was also the mother of his 5 children, was living in Minneapolis. Another case, the individual admitted to marriage fraud hours after insisting her marriage was legitimate. They also found the son of a suspected terrorist who overstayed his visa and been denied benefits because of fraud. The sweep took place September 19th through September 28th, or I don't know if it's through those dates or on those 2 dates. It reported 4 people were arrested. They indicated that other cities are likely to be future targets and said that unspecified red flags made Minnesota appear to be a good place to start. I would imagine one of those red flags was Ilhan Omar. That's what I would imagine. When you look at what we're seeing as concerning patterns of fraud, we're seeing good cooperation here, especially among our field office working with our federal agents. It makes sense to start in a city where we have a sense of what's going on and where we can try to make an impact on certain things, like the immigration fraud from marriages and things of that nature. We knew Minneapolis and St. Paul were a good place to start to get that coordination and to start addressing the red flags that we found. At the end of the day, this is what the government should be doing. And when you see what has been uncovered by these diligent officers over the past 2 weeks, less than a 2-week period, that's only the tip of the iceberg and what we're actually dealing with when it comes to immigration fraud. This ultimately is, in my opinion, the same thing as a threat to our national security, a threat to public safety, and something that we're going to take seriously. Fox, sham exploitation, fake death certificates, here it all is. So we're going to see, we're going to watch. Hopefully this is going to be a fucking ad.
Fox News getting some exclusive access as Border Patrol agents raided the home of a convicted criminal from Mexico. The man is just one of nearly 550 illegal aliens taken into custody this month in the city of Chicago. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin has the latest on Operation Midway Blitz.
All right, stand by for free, John Patrol. 3, 2.
Declaring Operation Midway Blitz is fully operational. Border Patrol agents targeted a residence in Cicero, a Chicago suburb. The target, Everardo Villalba Vasquez from Mexico.
Despite what the critics say, this is not someone who was just randomly picked off the street. This is an individual that Border Patrol says did 36 months for possession with intent to distribute heroin.
Court records show he pleaded guilty in 2020, was deported in 2021. Thursday, Border Patrol found him back in Chicagoland.
This is somebody we want off the street. This is somebody we don't want walking with impunity
on the streets of the United States.
Their next stop, a Home Depot on Chicago's southwest side. Agents had developed information that illegal migrants with criminal backgrounds waited there for work. And to underscore the point that they have arrived, Border Patrol agents drove boats up the Chicago River.
No immigrant should be scared. If you're legally in this country, you have nothing to worry about, right? If you're in this country illegally and you're associated with criminal illegal aliens, you're going to be apprehended and you're going to be prosecuted and deported.
A processing facility set up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in a suburb has become a flashpoint for anti-enforcement demonstrators to push back. Last Friday, they slashed tires, threw rocks, and shot fireworks. And despite deadly violence directed at ICE across the nation, elected officials in Chicago are not toning down the angry rhetoric.
This is an immigrant neighborhood, and we are going to protect our people. To ICE, if you're watching, find your moral clarity, because this ain't it.
I set up this fentanyl processing facility to create a buffer space from violent demonstrators. But the fire department says it's not permitted and it could block emergency vehicles. However, the fence still stands. Jillian, back to you.
Mike Tobin out in Chicago for us tonight.
They think they're going to tell the federal government to take a fence down? I don't think so. So under a mission known as Operation Twin Shield, officers...
It's going to be easy tonight. Wings to go for game.
I know you guys heard that. 1,000 cases. They found fraud, non-compliance. It's the first operation under a new rule finalized earlier this month, allowing them to expand its law enforcement duties. That's good. In 44 of the cases, immigrants were referred to ICE and given notices to appear in court. 2 were detained on site. The rest are still being investigated. One example, marriage to an elderly citizen and subjected the citizen to elder abuse and exploitation. Petitioner confessed to marriage fraud. So it's conducted between September 19th and the 28th, so it just got over a couple days ago. They expect the number of referrals to ICE and adverse adjudications to increase as the investigations continue. I'm sure they're pissed. The agency pointed to Executive Order 14161, which directs federal agents to protect the United States from foreign terrorists and public safety threats as a framework guiding the operation. Officers are now empowered to thoroughly vet applicants and aggressively pursue fraud whenever it's encountered. Well, I should always be doing that. Why were they not doing it before? Surge marks the first time they have deployed resources at this scale in a single region. The leadership suggests it could become a model for future crackdowns. Well, I hope so. Story on this is bombshell DHS sweep of Minneapolis, St. Paul finds 50% of immigrants had committed immigration fraud. I saw that headline and I was like, wow, is this actually going to be an ad or is this going to be, I'm talking about it. Oh, is this going to be actually, all right, it's actually going to talk about it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Joseph Edlow. I'm the Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. I'm incredibly pleased to be here today to announce the successful conclusion to operate.
Can anyone tell me why we have U.S. Immigration or Citizenship and Immigration Services, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Border Patrol, Customs and Border Patrol, Department of Security? They're all doing the same fucking job. Why do we have 4 separate agencies? Why wouldn't we just have one agency doing this? Seems like, what is going on? Seems kind of ridiculous that we've got 4 agencies with all these employees doing the same fucking job, dealing with illegal aliens and people that want to come into the country. Just saying. One agency, maybe just one guy. We just need one guy to go like, yes, no, you can't come in. You come in and make DEI hires and they vetted them properly. They wouldn't have been able to slip illegals and convicts in. You know what? You're probably right.
Operation Twin Shield, an enforcement effort of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services with absolutely invaluable support from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the FBI, and DEA. I especially want to thank St. Paul Field Office Director Samuel Olson from ICE for being here, as well as Abel Vecino from the FBI for joining us up here today. I also want to thank Jeff Brecht and Mike Kennard from FDNS, as well as Michael Borgen from USCIS. And also want to thank Bill McGinn, our FDNS chief in Kansas City, who was on the ground during the entirety of the operation. Since September 19th, officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America. Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies.
Can we get
over the course of the operation?
visas?
Our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed. We found troubling patterns with the Uniting for Ukraine program that should have raised serious concerns under other administrations, such as an individual filing to sponsor more than 100 aliens, and organizations sponsoring hundreds. We are continuing to investigate these cases.
Wow.
Congress appears to be on the brink.
Oh, Miller Papillon says, glad to see, just got here. Glad you resurrected from whatever happened last night. I don't know what it was exactly last night. I think I'm hoping it's wrong with Opera, the browser, that something went wrong with Opera, it froze up like on that. But I don't know, because I had like changed the plugs on my computer. I had to move. Maybe it's my motherboard. I don't know. Maybe it's this new computer. Maybe there's something wrong with the motherboard, because I had to take the connections out of the USB-C jacks back and move them to regular USB-A jacks. I had to change cables. It seems to be working, and which USB-C is supposed to be the best way to do it. I don't know. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah, more arrests, less investigating. That's what I'm saying. Convictions. Yeah, definitely. So nearly half of all the in Minneapolis, St. Paul were found to have committed some form of immigration fraud. Wow. Officers encountered blatant marriage fraud. Officers didn't point to a specific group, but the Twin Cities has seen a massive uptick in Somali refugees and immigrants in recent years. They visited 1,000 homes across Minneapolis and St. Paul and found nearly 50% of the inhabitants were engaged in some form of marriage fraud. And I wonder if they went to Ilhan Omar's house. Just saying. You think it overheated? It's possible it overheated. It's possible it did overheat. I did that. I did change a couple settings on my fans and the cooling system. It was all set to quiet, and so I put it to balance. And I have noticed I've actually been hearing the fans running now. So before I didn't hear them running. So that's the problem. I guess I could open one of the doors too if it gets a problem. Maybe I should have just opened the door and let it circulate air that way. Put it in performance mode. Well, that's pretty loud there, Dan. Performance mode is extreme. That adjusts the fan curves. I don't want to do all. Dan, come on. I don't want to mess with all that stuff. The Operation Dub Twin Shield carried out by began September 13th and concluded this week. They called it a success. Look at this. So vast amounts of fraud, starting with Ilhan Omar, finally being exposed. Look at that. Woo. This is the first of many. Questions about the influx of migrants in the Twin Cities, particularly Somalis, and in the national spotlight, since claims emerged that the liberal firebrand Ilhan Omar, a naturalized U.S. citizen from Somalia, married her own brother to get him U.S. citizenship. Yeah. He's like, what? And lose all the Operation Cup. That'll be nice. And then what? And lose all the redundancy? The Department of Redundancy Department will be calling you soon. Reports which originated in conservative blogs. Not true. That is not true. The reports originated in papers and stuff, in local Somali stuff. That's where it came from. The local people, the Somali communities stuff. That's where it came from. It did not come from conservative people. How the fuck would conservative people know anything about her? It came from Somalis. Remains unclear how many people were detained. Officials would only disclose that multiple have been taken into custody, and it said it was too early to give an accurate number. The Twin Cities were chosen because the data showed it as a hotspot for manipulation and misuse of the immigration system. Cases of marriage fraud found to be a particular problem. In one incident, Kenyan immigrant. Hey, everybody. I am sorry. Bella's not. It wasn't Bella. No, it wasn't Bella. My grandson is up, and he will not go to sleep right now. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end the show. I owe you guys 2 hours, and I will either come back on once I get him to sleep, or I will just add 2 hours to a show tomorrow night or something when I won't even put a goal up or anything like that. I'll just do a 4-hour show or something. I apologize to everybody. I wish I could make it something else happen, but unfortunately, it is what it is, and I have to take care of this. So I will. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Like I said, tomorrow night I'll stream and I'll do a 4-hour show or something, like 4.5-hour show, and get it all taken care of. Knock out the 2 hours with no goal or nothing like that. I won't even put a goal up or nothing. So I appreciate it, and thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.